Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge here in Calm Lands. It is another rainy day. It is September, and we've got just under $5,000. Our tractor needs a little bit of work here, so we're going to head up here. Whoa, easy there, Alfred, easy buddy. We're going to head on up here and give it some gas, first of all. And then we're going to see how much it's going to cost us to service this. I'm hoping it's not the remainder of the amount of money we have, but it very well could be. Now, today is actually the best time for us to sell our fine salt and our flour of salt. Now, we don't have an actual pallet of flour of salt, so without turning it on to auto selling, I don't really want to do that. We can't really sell that today, so, but that's okay. We've got 2 pallets of coarse salt, or not, fine salt, excuse me, that can be sold. Coarse salt is not good to sell right now. We've got a lot of coarse salt, but it's not good to sell right now, so we're not going to do that. But that fine salt will be sold today. $2,603. It's not really ideal, but we got to do it, man. This is going to be our workhorse tractor for a while here. We obviously are not allowed to get rid of the tractor, but we can certainly buy a second tractor if the time comes and we have the money to do so. I don't want to let it get any worse because it'll continue to get more expensive if we don't go ahead and service it now. So we'll just take care of it and move on. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Now today our goals are going to be to get the straw up off both the fields, especially the one that has a ton of weeds growing in it now. It's massive weeds. We're going to have to plow both those fields up. And then we've got 3 fields today that we can drill. May not drill all 3 of them today. We might end up only drilling or seeding 2 of them, but we do have that option. We also have the grass field here that is fully ready to mow, which ideally we probably need to do that relatively soon, either in this episode or the next one, because we need to make some money, right? We need to make some money here, so we can continue to progress. All right, get off first-person view here for a minute. Good thing I got the hat on. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Let's see. The salt, let's see how we're doing here. Flour salt, obviously, 24,449 is the best right now. We don't have enough for it. Fine salt, it is dropping, so we should go ahead and sell that now. So let me go ahead and pick up the front loader here, and we will go sell those. Now, we're probably also going to have to do a second application of fertilizer on the 2 canola fields that we did in the last episode. And that means we're going to have to buy some more fertilizer as well. So, being able to sell this fine salt is going to be much needed. Let's see. What should we do here? We'll just hook up the water tank, I guess. Because we're going to need something that's probably going to topple over if I don't have a counterweight to this. Probably want to top off the water for both the sheep and the salt marsh here as well today. But that can come later on. Whoa. I don't even know if that's a big enough counterweight here. It's not. Holy smokes, I thought that was going to be enough. Okay, let me unhook that for a minute then. All right, let's see if we can find something else for this then, because that is not going to work. I guess maybe just the trailer itself. Maybe that's going to be a big enough weight, because it's got actual crop in it, so it should be pretty heavy. I don't want to sell any of this yet. I'd like to at least get a little bit closer before we sell it, right? And closer, by closer I mean closer to the best price for it, the best month for it. Yep, that did it. That did the trick. It's not perfect, but it works. Okay, good. So this should give us a good amount of money. 2,000 liters of fine salt. We're going to be making around $5,000, which put us back in a little bit of a better spot, right? Evidently, I'm going too far here. It's got a very, very finicky spot there to sell it at, I guess. All right, good. Looks like it was slightly over what I said. I think we might have made more like 6,000. No. It was about 5. A little over 5,000. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and put this back over here, and we're going to go get the baler out. I'm just going to leave the forks on for now because we're going to have to move those straw bales anyway, right? Once we get them baled up, we're going to have to move them out of the way. If we don't just sell them outright, which we probably will. But at a minimum, they've got to be moved out of the way. So we can start plowing up the field and then seeding it or drilling it, right? All right, we're underway. Now, this is definitely going to need that second application of fertilizer, as you can see. I don't know how many bales of straw we're going to get out of this. I like to play that little guessing game most of the time. I'm going to go with, from both fields, I'm talking about both fields, I'm going to go with 12. I'm probably going to be way off, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to guess on 12 bales. I normally am way off. It might be 15 even. The more I look at how much is actually on the field here. This is all a mess right here. That whole area right there was a mess. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to try to get this out of the way a little bit here because it's a bit of a mess. All right, cool. We're back in. Yeah, so we're going to put, I think we're going to put barley in this field, and I think we're going to put wheat in that field. I believe that's the two that we can actually do right now, barley and wheat, and I guess we can do canola again, but we've got 2 fields of canola, 2 massive fields of canola at that, so I'm not going to put another canola field in. Although that probably would give us a little bit more money, probably be better for us, but we're not going to do that one. We're going to stick to the cereal crop, the wheat, the barley, etc. Now, with all these weeds here, it is, I mean, you can still see kind of where you were, but it is a little bit more difficult to find some of the stuff that might be not in a perfect row, right? Might be kind of excess that got pushed out further than it should have been, right? Some of that stuff's going to be probably pretty difficult to find here with how many weeds are on this field. As long as we get most of it, though, we should be good. Let's see, this video will be coming out, I believe, on Memorial Day, so thank you to all of those who served. I appreciate it. Did you happen to watch the Indy 500 yesterday? I'm recording this before the Indy 500 came out, so if you did, who you wanted to win, did they win? I'm not sure who I'm going to pick yet. I normally put a small wager on the Indy 500. I normally bet on, 1 or 2 individuals to try to win the Indy 500. I'd like Colton Herta to win. I don't think he's going to, though. I don't think he's in a good spot. I mean, that rookie got... That one rookie, I can't think of his name right now. I'm blanking on his name. I'll probably think of it in the middle of the episode here. He's looking pretty good. I mean, I doubt he'll win, but he's looking pretty good, man. All right, well, it's all done, and of course I'm wrong again. And I've already got a lot of the bales up, as you can see. There's only a few left, and you might be asking, well, did you go sell them? Because I don't see your money going up. I did not. The nice thing about our little silage pole thing we have here is it also accepts straw. Now, it doesn't turn the straw into silage or anything like that, but what it does do is store that straw in a form where I could unload that into my trailer, which means less overall trips to go sell it. You know, I'll have to sit there. I mean, I'm doing it now, obviously, but I don't have to drive as far with 2 bales and then continue to repeat that process over and over again. I can do it at a much faster clip with the trailer, especially once we get a little bit later on in the series and I've probably upgraded to, you know, a larger trailer, right? But for now, it's just going to be able to store our straw for us. And since we have $8,000, I don't think we necessarily have to sell them right now. Granted, it'd be nice to have extra money. I don't think we need to. And a couple other things. I don't think it's... I mean, we're not going to make a ton of money no matter what we do, right? So I don't think it's... I can't get this bale. I'm going to put this bale down. There we go. I mean, we might as well try to get the most money out of the straw, I guess is what I was trying to get at, right? So we might as well store it in somewhere. We can't put it in the silo. I don't really want to leave them outside. Granted, we have a couple of the grass ones that are sitting outside for the sheep, but, you know, let's try to slightly make it a little bit realistic, right? I understand that it's on a pole and it's out in the open too, but the outside of the straw would be damaged, but most of it inside should be okay. And when I say by inside, I mean underneath that top layer. So there you go, 80,080 liters of straw. And it doesn't give you any extra. It's nothing. It's just 0.0 or 0.1 straw to 0.01 straw. So it just literally there allows us to store our straw there. And that way we don't have to take up space in here. We don't have any space in there anyway, but if we did, you know, that would be taking up the space, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. So I think what we're going to end up doing today, gang, is we are going to plow these 2 fields first, and then I'm going to put in wheat or barley in that field over there that's prepped and ready to go, and I think we'll put it in this field, and this field will probably save for the next episode more than likely. We'll see. Like, we'll see where the time is and everything, but more than likely that's what's going to happen. We'll drill that field in the next episode and then harvest. Well, I guess it is kind of harvesting. Mow the grass as well. Now, it should, I mean, if I'm looking at the mod correctly, I should be able to also put grass in there and turn it into silage at the same time that it's holding onto the straw. Might be a little weird, but it should allow me to do that. The rain also stopped, which is great for us. We do need to expand this field here to kind of go along with our upgrades, right? We said we've been continuing to expand these fields out a little bit further now that we have an idea. So we should go ahead and do that right now. It'll be nice to clean up this field since it's such a bit of a mess here with all these weeds. All right, I think that's going to be about as good as I'm going to get. So this week, I know many of you know who've been around for a while. You know that I play in a poker league. It's pretty fun. I've been having some bad luck here for quite a while, and that luck has continued. 3 weeks in a row, I got knocked out of the tournament by getting beat by quads. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that, right? It's just you go through those time periods in poker where you're just the cards aren't coming your way, right? You can play it perfectly. You can play it against the book. You know, you can try to trick people all you want, but sometimes you're going to have some luck, and sometimes you're going to have luck that is against you. In other words, bad luck, and that's just how it's been for me the last couple of weeks. I've been getting absolutely killed, and not anything I can do about it. Not like I'm playing the cards wrong. I'm playing them how I should be playing them. People are hitting one-outers on me on the river and getting quads. It's just a bad beat, man. Bad beat after bad beat after bad beat. So I'm hopeful for this coming week, because this should be coming out on a Monday, I think, or a Tuesday. I don't know, one of those two. think it's Monday. We talked about the Indy 500 would have been yesterday, so I think if I got my days right, which I might, if it's a Monday or Tuesday, but I think it's a Monday. Anyway, this week, hopefully, we have a little bit better luck in the poker league, right? Hopefully, I don't get beat by quads again. My luck, the way that it would work out is this week I'll get quads and then get beat by another pair of quads, or another pair of quads, another person with quads that are better than mine. That's just the way that things would work out for me. I can just see it happening. So I'll report back how this week's goes and let you know. It's not doing very well for my overall points for the season, though. If you don't know, the way that it kind of works, you get points based off of where you place every week, and as long as you're above a certain cut line, then you get into the final tournament, which is free. It's a free roll, but you have to get above a certain cut line, or you have to place top 3 one of the weeks of the regular season. So I'm not doing too well. For the season only started a little bit ago, and I missed last week, but the first 2 weeks, and then this week, beat by quads. So I've been not getting a whole lot of points. So I'm going to have to turn that around pretty quickly here. I'm going to have a real good week here. Hopefully get a top 3 placement. Might just play very, as they call it in the poker term, nitty, which is Nitty, nitty, which is, somebody who only plays premium hands. And by premium hands, I mean like the best hands in poker, right? They don't, you never see them bluffing. You never see them, If they're playing, they have a really good hand of some sort. So they're kind of easy to read people, if that makes sense. But I might have to go that approach here. Just so I can try to get off the schneid here and get some points. Anyway, that's not Farming Simulator, but there's just something on my mind, and I like to tell you what's on my mind all the time, right? So we're going to plow the rest of this field up. We do need to do the second application of fertilizer on both of those fields, which I kind of forgot about until just now. I know I mentioned it early on the episode, but I kind of forgot about that. So we might end up doing is just plowing this field up and then leaving the plowing of that field and the seeding or drilling of that field to the next episode. We might end up just doing that. That's probably a better approach, honestly. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Because it is going to take us a while to do the drilling of both these fields and then do the fertilizer spreading, because we've got to go buy fertilizer. We don't even have any fertilizer right now. Speaking of that, anything in the used market? No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, that's super nice, but it's 36 grand. We're not buying that. We're not buying that. We don't have the money for that. So let's go ahead and buy some fertilizer here. I'm going to buy I've been buying, I guess I should say, the liftable bale and pallet mod versions of them. Haven't really used it. But just in case something happens, I'd like to have that ability in case there's a glitch or there's an issue or whatever. I can pick it up by hand and move it or whatever needs to be done. So I typically do that even though I don't really utilize it very often. And very rarely do I ever utilize it on camera. If I do utilize it, I'm doing some off-camera work or something like that. And it just helps speed things up for me, right? So yeah, decision made. We will continue to plow the rest of this field up. We're going to save everything on that field back there, what was the oat field. We're going to save everything on that for the following episode for October. And we'll just focus on this field, the field over there in the distance there, that's already prepped and ready to go, and then fertilizing these fields today. Now there's an idea I have, I've mentioned it a couple times, for the area that we haven't done anything with. It's just, weeded up grass that we haven't really touched on the other end of the sheep pen, right? The other end of the yard, I guess. We've got an idea for that. I don't know if it'll come to fruition today or not. It really depends on how much time we have. If we don't have enough time for it today, we can certainly do it in the next episode. Because in the next episode, we're going to be doing the grass mowing and that oat field over there. So one of the two. We'll see where we are as far as the time goes when we're done with everything we have to accomplish today. And if we have the time, we'll put it down. If we don't, we'll wait. We'll hold off. And when I say put it down, I'm not even positive that we even have enough money to put it down yet. We're close, I think, but I don't know for sure if we have enough money now that we had to buy that pallet of fertilizer. So we might need another, episode or two and hopefully be able to get some more stuff that we can sell. Now, we do have the crops and stuff that we could go sell right now, and the straw, really. If we absolutely had to, we could go sell that right now. But as I mentioned, I'm trying to hold off as long as possible. I know at some point I'm going to have to sell it, probably before it's the best time. But I want to try to get as much money as we possibly can, even if it's a couple dollars extra. I'm wanting to really save the time period, or save to the time period when we can accomplish that, right? Getting ourselves a little bit more money. As we know, right around now, it's really not going to be a good price for anything that we have. Let's do a quick save here. You know, the wheat, all that stuff. It's not going to be a good price at all. I mean, it's almost as bad as it can get. So, and we're playing on hard difficulty, right? So we're not getting a whole lot of money for selling of the crops here, right? I mentioned it, I think, early on when we started this series, that really ideally what we want to try to accomplish is continuing to put down productions and utilize our crops for productions or animals or whatever, instead of just selling it outright, because you're just not going to make that much money on hard difficulty. You really need to do the process of turning it into something else so you can make more money, right? The problem of having, and the problem seems to be that a lot of people are having, I know Northern Farm Sim has mentioned to me, at least, that he's also having that same problem with storage and things like that. The problem really is finding something that's not super unrealistic, right? And that's the goal here. I mean, there's obviously going to be things that are unrealistic, the tractor to start with, for example, but, you know, the goal is to not utilize productions and storage and things like that are super unrealistic. In other words, I don't want to pay $1,000 for 1 million liters of storage in a silo. Like, that's just not... It basically defeats the whole purpose of the challenge. Having unrealistic, you know, horsepower and stuff, that doesn't really remove it doesn't really take anything away from the actual challenge itself. Whereas having a silo where you can store literally anything and everything, or having a production that you can put grass into and it turns into silage within 5 minutes, it just makes the challenge a little bit too easy, I think. This is my personal opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean it's right. It's just my opinion on it. I made a mistake. In hindsight, I should have brought I put the forks down. I should have brought them up there with me, and I could have brought the pallet back here, but it's too late now, I guess, right? I'm going to turn steering assist on here because I want to try to make sure that we get, you know, more for our money, I guess. I don't want to waste any fertilizer here if at all possible, because it is expensive. So we'll fertilize these 2 fields, and then we're going to put some crop in the other 2. Now, I think in this instance I'm going to put the exact same thing in both of these fields, and then whichever one I don't decide, which I'm kind of leaning towards putting wheat in both of those fields, but whichever one I do decide not to do, we'll go over in that what was the oat field. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Yeah, I think they're both going to be wheat. Now, we actually might need fertilizer for the drill, too. I definitely screwed that up. I should have brought the fertilizer pallet down here. Well, granted, there wasn't a whole lot of fertilizer left in there, and I can unload what's in here, obviously, and fill that up with the drill, right? It's not a problem, but I think I'm missing stuff there for sure. Yeah, there's a whole row that needs to be done again, it looks like. That's unfortunate. That's alright. We'll get it taken care of. Not a big deal. Do love this fertilizer spreader. It's got a relatively decent capacity, and the spreading width it's not bad. It's really not. It's not bad at all. Okay, we don't... I want to turn off a bunch of this stuff here. Because I know it needs all that stuff, but I don't really need to see that right now. I just need to make sure that we're getting We are. We're getting it. Okay, we're good. These two fields are going to produce a lot of canola for us. We're going to make a lot of money off of it. Now, we obviously need to roll it. We need to put lime down. There's a lot of other things we really needed to do. But we just didn't have the money for it. And we still, I don't think we have the money to be able to do it, even on the two fields we're going to do today. I just don't think we have the money for it. I'd like to. I just don't think the money's there. I mean, the roller itself is going to cost us $3,100. So we could get the roller, I guess. I hate rolling, but we could get the roller, I guess. But the lime itself, we know how expensive lime is. Lime is outrageous. $450. And we did to refill it a lot. A lot. So I think what I'm leaning towards is maybe just buying the roller today and leaving it at that. Okay, we're getting the whole thing this time. Good. Yeah, I think we'll do the roller today. As much as I hate it, I think we're going to get the roller. Let's just go ahead and buy it right now. Okay. All right. Rolling. Hate rolling. It's got to be done, though. Got to be done. We want as much money as we possibly can get out of these fields, and it is going to help us. It absolutely is going to help us. Now, the nice thing about the roller that I did buy is I didn't buy one of the really small ones that was going to take an eternity. At least it is a decent width, especially for the fields we have. It's a relatively good width. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to unload the pallet here, right here in the middle somewhere. Good enough for me. Let's back this thing back into the shed, because this really should be under cover or into shed, and we've still got room in the shed, so we might as well put it back in the shed for now. Alright, drop that off, and now we can go ahead and get the drill out. And I'm hoping that the amount of fertilizer we have there will be enough to do both these fields. There is still 515 liters in here, so I think we've got a good chance here. Alright, we're going to do wheat. Ooh, I just went way past it. There we go. Ooh, I don't think that is going to be enough. We are going to need that. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and unhook this really quick. I'm going to get the forks here. We'll go up and grab the roller, and we'll grab that pallet. Might as well while we're up there. Alright, I decided to pick up the round bale net as well while we're up there. We might as well. This is probably going to be in the way no matter where I put it, so I'm just going to set it right here for now, and we can move it later on. Okay, maybe not. Please, thank you. Alright, the roller's going to be in the way as well, but that's alright. We'll just flip a Yui here, and we'll just park it temporarily right over here on the other side by the, well, I guess kind of in the way of the plow. We're going to be utilizing it here in just a second, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, I'm going to unhook the forks here. Put them back in their, well, I don't know if this is going to be the rightful place, but at least a temporary place. Now, I still don't think the amount of fertilizer we have is going to potentially be enough. I don't know for sure. It might be. The fields we're doing are not as big as they were yesterday, but again, we're only 84% full here, so I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. All right, we're underway. Let's get to work here, gang. We got two big fields to do here, and then we'll get the roller out and suffer through that. All right, well, my most hated job is fully underway. That field over there has been completed. We are edging closer to, I would say, about halfway through this field. And, yeah, it's not bad. I like the way that the field looks after it's been rolled. I just absolutely hate the job of doing the rolling. And evidently I have removed steering assist somehow between stopping the recording and starting it back up again. I don't know how I did that, but whatever. We're back underway anyway. At least the width of the roller is decent, so it is not taking too long, which is really what I wanted. If I was going to get a roller, I wanted this one at a bare minimum. Ideally, I'd get a bigger one that could go even faster, but let's not run before we can walk, right? So let's just deal with what we can afford, and this is one we can afford that has a good width to it. For some reason, there's a little row in the middle. I don't know why, but sometimes it does that. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but sometimes it lines up and there's I guess the actual field itself is not perfectly aligned, so it's going to have a little section that you're going to have to go back over top of some of the other stuff to hit something that was missed, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, the rocks seem to be going down a little bit better in this field versus the other field. The other field had some bigger rocks in it, and it's, I don't know, probably due to the fact of a number of reasons, but yeah. So we're moving along, we're chugging along here, gang. We're nearly done. And we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash the like button for me. Make sure you check the Discord out. Links down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your continued support. I'll see you in the next episode.